Morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Welcome into another edition of the Morning Edge. DeadPresPicks, joined by SlopRules. As always, it is a massive day. It is conference championship day in college football, and we have a lot to get into and gamble on. John, how we doing?
It's gonna be the greatest day of our lives, Matt.
It could be.
Really, really.
There is that chance that it is, and that's
It's
awesome.
it's still early, so we
Yeah.
don't know yet, but it could be.
But it's possible. So a lot of games to get into, John. Obviously, we're going to give you guys a couple picks on our end as well. But let's start with the game I think that might kind of control the day, Kansas State and TCU. So a lot of people have been comparing TCU to like the Vikings this year, Cincinnati last year, kind of that team that is like a good record, but nobody's legitimately scared of. Nonetheless, they're 12-0 and they've beat some good teams along the way. When they've played teams, they've beaten 5 teams that at the time they played that they were ranked. Now, 2 of those teams are only still ranked, but nonetheless, it's still impressive. I mean, you're playing ranked teams. Some of those wins came on the road, including one of their wins was over TCU over Kansas State this year. Now they get Kansas State, who comes into this game ranked 10th in the nation at 9-3. John, you think TCU gets it done here, or do you think they take a loss and put their playoff hopes kind of in the committee's hands?
I don't know. It's tough to trust either one of them.
Yeah.
That's how you know. That's how you know you're dealing with a fraud team that has no winning the national title. So I don't even know what we're doing. But they're kids. This is a big game for them, and they should be happy with the season they had. But I mean, I could see them losing today, but I could also see them blowing K-State out because K-State is like the kind of like a mirror. Like they're like the same kind of. Like you don't know who's showing up.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It's like what team are either of them legit, right? Like Kansas State's the highest ranked 3-loss team in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
TCU, see, I have this theory though. I think TCU should be in either way, but if they lose, the committee's putting Ohio State in because
Yeah, that's kind of messed up too
yeah, I don't
because
think it's that fair either. Because like it's tough to. My theory here is like, how do you use it against a team for making their conference championship? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I feel like this should just be a bonus game at this point. Like they really shouldn't be penalized for losing the
well
conference.
they're being penalized for when they lost.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Feels
kind of
dumb.
that's a good way
Like
to think.
that's not like all right. So you lost last week, so you're out now. But like, what about that team they lost? Or you know what I'm saying? Like Ohio State just got their asses kicked
At
because we
home.
all saw that happen.
Yeah, it's a rough loss to recover from. But that Ohio State Michigan game, I think it had like the most views of all time for like a college football game. So like, imagine if they could put Ohio State back in the playoffs and like let them play Michigan again. The college football would be ecstatic to do that. They want that kind of thing. So
No, they try and put Bama in, bro.
that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it's about money. So they want these bigger schools that they can market better. So TCU, you have to win this game, or the committee's probably kicking you out because you're TCU. So that's gonna be a good game to keep our eye on. How about the
Before we go on from that, do you think it's because they're purple? You don't see a lot of purple teams. You know what I'm saying? Like getting respect
what
and like
purple team?
national titles. Do
Maybe
you?
the Ravens are the only like purple sports franchise.
But yeah, but in
No,
college
I'm even
football,
thinking of like basketball, like the Kings. No,
not a lot of respect.
like hockey. No, really. Like what purple team? Again, the Kings. You're not scared of them.
Man, so I mean, if you're looking to start a new school, start a new franchise, like, I don't know,
Don't be
purple.
purple.
Way.
Okay. Do not. Just be like, just not purple. That's
And personally, I mean, I'll admit that I think their uniforms are sweet. Don't get me wrong, I do. Like, they're cool, but I don't know. I just don't see how you get respect if you're
no.
wearing
There's
purple.
there's some cool unis, but yeah, I'm with you. I think you're onto something with the purple uniforms, kind of working against them. Kansas State's the
Yeah,
same thing. Like
yeah.
Kansas State's not that good, right?
I mean,
Because
if I'm just picking, like, because half these people voting on this, they don't even watch college football. If I'm taking like between two teams, I'm just putting Bama in. If it's between TCU and Bama,
oh yeah, because Bama's
yeah,
not purple.
just put them in. They're not wearing purple, and
That's
they got Nick Saban.
probably why. SEC championship, John, LSU, Georgia. I personally have not made a pick on this game yet because I don't really know what to pick, to tell you the truth. Georgia's minus 17.5. I would lean with kind of a Georgia beatdown, but LSU's a weird team. They sometimes look really good and can hang in a game. I mean, 17.5 is obviously a ton of points in a conference championship, but disappointing loss. Like if LSU won last week, I mean, it would have been a miracle. But if they won last week and won this game, they would have been in the college football playoffs. But they lost to Texas A&M, so now
That's
they're
bad.
9-3. A very bad loss. I mean, Texas A&M is like nobody that's still playing. Any thoughts on this game, or is this one we don't really need to talk too much about?
It's Georgia or literally nothing.
Yeah,
To be honest with you, here's how I would play it. And I still might do it because I need something to do during that time frame today. So what I would do, maybe, strong maybe though, is Georgia like minus 20 and a half or minus 19 and a half. Just up it to where, you know what I'm saying, like you're getting some plus money for it because I I really think they're gonna just kill LSU. Like I think it could be like remember Oregon? I mean, that
yeah,
was the first game of the season, but I mean, like that was so bad. And I mean, and what they did to Tennessee, you gotta admit, like that was pretty impressive. And they didn't even have their foot on the gas, like in that Tennessee game. So
yeah.
I think really, like this game really means a lot, definitely. I think they blow them out,
I'm
and
with
I couldn't imagine having a LSU plus 17 ticket, midway through the second quarter when it's 34 to nothing. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like that would suck. So.
You're just praying at that point. Like that whole game.
That doesn't feel like a bet. That feels like a wish.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I mean?
That's a great way to think of it. That's more of a wish. You're completely correct. So I think it's a good spot. I'm with you with Georgia. All right, we'll do two more games, John, and then we're going to get into what we're actually going to bet. For we're going to give our official picks. These are just leans unless they win, then they're official. So we got Purdue and Michigan, Big Ten championship. By the way, I think how the Big Ten does it. I know some conferences do it like this, but I kind of hate it. Like if the crazy thing is if Iowa didn't lose last week and they had like a really bad loss because I think they were a double digit favorite at home against Nebraska, but thank God they lost because if they won, it would have been Michigan and Iowa in the conference championship. So we kind of got lucky because Purdue's kind of fun to watch. Like Aiden O'Connell, you could throw the football. You were talking about Charlie Jones on our last episode. Really dynamic receiver. He's actually an Iowa transfer, but like, why can't it be just Michigan and Ohio State again in the Big Ten championship? Yeah, I feel like it's stupid how they do the Big Ten West, Big Ten East, even like Penn State 7-2 in conference. You look at the Big Ten West was horrible. It was like 6-3 and 5-4 in conference. That's how you got into the championship. But anyway, Purdue is a 17 point dog here. What do you think on this game
You
or
know what
any?
they should do to solve that problem is just do like a Twitter poll.
That would be fun.
That's that's who gets that's the Big Ten title game.
That would be
You
awesome.
know what
Or like put Nebraska in it. Like just because Nebraska's kind of like so bad that it might be fun to watch,
I mean?
kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
At that point, nobody's going to beat Michigan. Just stick Nebraska in, see if they can
See
pull
what
off.
happens. Yeah,
Yeah, they'd be
yeah.
plus like
No, I
42.
like it. I think Purdue could actually surprise people. Like
Mhm.
Michigan's kind of banged up, like really banged up, and they just played Ohio State. I mean,
Yeah, little letdown.
that's gotta be tough. I mean,
Yeah,
like that. Because think about it, like that's the biggest game of these kids like season.
like
You know what I'm saying? That's their whole year. So like the lead up to that game has got to be taxing. You know what I mean? Like you're so up, and then all of a sudden the game's over, and you're like, oh, all right, like it's like now there's no more Ohio State game. But at the same time, like you have to play the Big Ten title game next week. How do you get up for that? You
that's a
know what I
good
mean?
point.
Especially if you got kids that are banged up. So 17 points is a lot. I think I saw like it's creeping down, like 16, 16 and a half. So
It's
would
moving.
people kind of agree with that? This is, I don't know. This feels like a backdoor, you know?
Yeah, the dog loves it.
Ooh, you
That's
hear that?
that's
Right
huge
as I
for us.
said, it feels like a backdoor cover. So you know what we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna get a
Uh,
backdoor cover from Purdue, but I'm also I like it. I think it's a good spot.
Dogs barking.
Man, now they're going crazy. There's someone coming by.
So what are you saying? Purdue's going to win outright?
They,
I think that's what that means.
I kind of if they're gonna bark during any part of the show, it's now to bark. So good job about the dogs. So last game, John, Clemson UNC 7.5 for Clemson. Any thoughts on this one?
Can I be honest? Like without being, like this is just me saying that I'm not even gonna watch this game. I didn't even know this game was happening.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
there's
not.
no like unless you went to North Carolina or Clemson, then like what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like nothing about this game like means anything
Yeah,
except to the kids playing, which is a big deal, very big deal to them. But like I couldn't imagine taking a side either way here.
and they put it at 8 o'clock on Saturday night. Like, why is this the primetime game?
Yeah, like this should have been like at like 10 a.m. You know what I mean? Just throw this on at like 10 a.m. Get obviously you're watching Purdue and Michigan, right?
Well, yeah, I think people won't watch this game. I kind of agree, but my lean would be North Carolina. I love May, their freshman quarterback. He's had a really good year. Clemson Clemson's a fraud team. Also, talking about fraud teams, they don't scare me at all. 7.5's way too many. So give
Yeah,
me.
we're going 8 o'clock, Fox or ABC. This game's on ABC. Like you're watching Fox, dude. Like that's Purdue and
Yeah,
Michigan.
I'm
I
with.
mean, I couldn't imagine doing it any other way, but whatever.
All right, time for our actual picks. I apologize for my dogs barking the last 5 minutes. There's a vacuum going on in the hallway that makes them bark, but it's kind of good for us because of the Purdue pick. That means Purdue probably wins outright, so sprinkle that money line. Now we're going to go to our official Saturday plays, and John, you can kick us off. What are you looking at?
I've got I've got a good one. All right, so this is the other reason why I'm definitely watching the Michigan Purdue game because Charlie Jones 90 plus receiving yards plus 130 is an absolute gift. Absolute gift. For starters, you could do 100 plus at plus 182 just because Purdue's lost 4 games this season. Charlie Jones has gone over 100 yards in all 4 of those. Once they get behind, it just turns into throw the ball to Charlie Jones. We
Love
talked about it yesterday on in the Thunderdome. Like he's actually in like my Thunderdome pick. So I mean this is how big this is. This kid gets targeted like there's no one else on the field. Like literally. I mean, there was a game he had against Iowa. Ask me how many targets he had, Matt.
How many targets do you have against Iowa?
19.
It's a lot.
Matt, that's a lot. It took like and against Penn State, how many targets did he have, you think?
How many? 15.
19.
Wow.
Like, think
That's
about
more
that.
than guys get in this season in one game.
Yeah. I mean that's ridiculous. And he's gone over 100 like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. It just feels like this is a game where they're going to need this. You know what I mean? They're going to need him because Michigan will score on them. I know they're banged up, but I couldn't imagine this being like a 13-10 Purdue win. You know what I mean? Like anything like that. This is gonna be they're playing from behind
They
and
win.
throwing the ball late, and this guy's gonna get. But so 90 plus yards is plus 130. I feel like that's got to be like
Well, if
the.
he's going to get 20 targets, yeah, he's going to fly over this number if he gets those targets.
I really think he does. Again, just because of just the game script, it's just begging for this, begging for Purdue to throw the ball,
Yeah,
and the fact that literally there's like 2 people that they throw to on the team, like
yeah,
everyone else is kind of just getting cardio. So
I like it.
yeah,
I like it. Yeah, I'll definitely be telling that one for sure. Definitely like the game script point there. So I'll be on Purdue and a little Charlie Jones action as well. All right, I'm going to go to the Mountain West Championship, John. So this is a game
ooh,
again.
ooh,
I don't know. I don't know how many people are watching this. It's on Fox at 4 p.m. Make sure to check this game out. We got the Fresno State Bulldogs and the Boise State Broncos. So Fresno State, they are 8-4 on the year, but it's a skewed 8-4 because their starting quarterback Jake Hayner has been out, or he's back now, but he was out for about a month, a little plus, with an injury. So that killed them. They lost. Like if you look at Fresno State, you're like, oh wait, this team's not that good. They lost to UConn, but you have to remember Hayner's like their whole team. So without him, they're awful. But when he's on the field, they're about as good as anyone in the conference. Hence why they're in the conference championship game. So
mm,
since Hayner's return, they haven't lost. Their last loss, John, guess who it came to though? It was
who?
it was Boise State. So it's been a
Oh,
while, and
revenge.
a little revenge, and it was on October 8th. It's going to be December 3rd. So you do some quick math there. They haven't lost in almost 2 months since Hayner's been on the field.
Good
Uh,
anymore.
That's what I mean. They're allergic to losing at this point. Hayner is a guy he's been around the block. He's a senior. I like him to get the job done against Boise, and we don't even need them to win. That's the crazy part. They're +3. So if they can just fight, keep this thing close, we're going to cash a ticket. Boise's had a really odd season. They started off not looking very good. They got beat bad by Oregon State. Now, it turned out Oregon State was a good loss to have on her resume because Oregon State ended up being a pretty good team, ranked all year. But they also lost to UTEP. So they started 2-2, and then they kind of just went crazy the rest of the year. Their starting quarterback transfer, they had a lot of moving parts. I think Boise's being overvalued here. Remember, the first time they played, Boise won 40-20, but again, it was without Hayner. So I like the revenge. It would be fun. When was the last time Fresno State won the Mountain West? Give me some new teams. I think Jake Hayner and the Bulldogs get it done, so I'm going to take them +3.
I like it. I needed something to bet during the 4 o'clock because remember I said I wasn't sure if I was betting the SEC title game. So
yeah,
this might be. It's a dog.
It's going to be one of those weird years where the Mountain West championship's better than the SEC. So that's why
a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. But I'm all in on the Bulldogs. So those are gonna be our 2 bets, guys. Get on that Charlie Jones bet, and then get on my Fresno State. I had fun breaking down some of the bowl games. Me and John will be back with another episode of The Morning Edge for some Sunday NFL bets. Big Sunday slate. John's super fired up to get into that. Make sure you guys check it out, and we will see you guys on Sunday.